Welcome to the screencast for LIT268, the graphic novel and the love of superpower, which is run by me, Fabienne, and I'm a lecturer in contemporary literature in the School of English, and I work particularly on Cold War weapon systems, continuity of the Cold War into the national security state or state of exception. So I'm very interested in the poetics of terror and technological sublimity. I work on cyborg politics as well, and I'm interested in how the war machine is implanted in space, in physical space, but also in our in the space of the mind. In terms of this course, it very much follows on from Lit 204, which is critical and lit theory. So I expect an enthusiasm for critical theory, because what we'll be doing is we'll be looking at the graphic novel in relation to theoretical material by, for example, Derrida, Nietzsche, Adorno and Horkheimer, Benjamin, Michel de Certeau, and the idea is to stage in this module a deliberate confrontation between the preconceptions that underlie superpower mythology and to create a sense of historicity for the graphic novel, which is not at all a sort of holy text or sacred text that occurs in an ideological vacuum, but is very much infused with very dodgy politics, arch-conservative and at times fundamentally fascist. So that's what we'll be looking at in this course. And the way that the course is structured is it's some weeks we'll only be looking at theory, whereas other weeks we'll be looking at theory alongside a graphic novel. And there's this idea that we'll be returning throughout this module to the same text, that we revisit them, and that this revisiting and rereading and rethinking is actually a fundamental aspect of the course. Practices of reading which are scrupulous as well as courageous, hopefully with the courage to go against our own convictions too. So it's about being open and questioning the politics of this medium, and we'll be looking at films alongside the novels as well. In terms of assessment, so the course is assessed by weekly mole postings that are worth 25%, which you'll be posting ahead of each seminar, so that I can read them beforehand and we can base the discussion around your responses to the weekly reading. There's a tracing project along with a 1,000-word critical commentary, which is also worth 25%. And the tracing project requires you to pick 2 pages from a graphic novel, and these can be consecutive or not, and reproduce the drawings in a sort of simplified manner to comment on the form as well. And what I'd like you to do with that as well is to leave the speech bubbles blank and quite playfully, you can be quite playful here, include your own commentary and to sort of subvert the meaning that the text presents. And the whole thing is accompanied by a sort of tour of the tracing project, which can be more creative than your standard academic essay. And then you have a 2,500-word research essay in which you'll be looking at one text from the course to be complemented with one that we haven't talked about. So it's about encouraging you to do your own research as well. So it's workshops or seminars only, so there's a high degree of participation, emphasis of discussion as well, and collaboration. Okay, if you have any questions, here's my email address, so feel free to email me. Okay, cheers. Thanks for listening.